Welcome to the survival mind. You're 3 hours into a day hike. You took a wrong turn. Now you're standing in the middle of the wilderness and you have no idea which direction leads back to the trail. The sun is setting in 2 hours. Your phone is dead. You told no one exactly where you were going. You have a water bottle, a granola bar, and the clothes on your back. What you do in the next 60 minutes will determine whether you survive. This is your complete wilderness survival guide. Not quick tips, not basic advice. This is the full protocol, hour by hour, day by day, based on real survival cases and expert techniques. First, understand the rule of threes. This framework has saved countless lives because it tells you exactly what to prioritize. You can survive 3 minutes without air. That's not your problem unless you're drowning or choking. You can survive 3 hours without shelter in extreme conditions. If it's freezing, raining, or scorching hot, exposure will kill you before nightfall. Shelter becomes your first priority. You can survive 3 days without water. Dehydration is deadly, but it takes time. Water is priority number 2. You can survive 3 weeks without food. Hunger is uncomfortable, but starvation takes weeks. Food is your last concern. Most people who die in the wilderness get these priorities backwards. They spend precious daylight searching for food while ignoring shelter. They keep walking when they should stay put. They panic when they need to think. In 2013, 2 hikers got lost in the same forest on the same day. One survived, one didn't. They faced identical conditions. The difference, the survivor knew this protocol. Let me show you what separates survival from tragedy. Hour 1. This is where most people make fatal mistakes. Your brain is flooding with cortisol. Your heart is racing. Every instinct screams at you to move, to find the trail, to get out of here now. Stop. Literally, sit down. This is the S.T.O.P protocol, and it saves lives. S. Sit down. Get off your feet. Break the panic cycle. T. Think. What do you know? Where did you last see a trail marker? How long have you been walking? O. Observe. What do you see, hear, smell? Water sounds, road noise, aircraft, wind direction, sun position. P. Plan. Based on what you know, what's your next move? Here's the critical decision. Do you stay put or do you keep moving? The answer depends on 3 factors. 1. Did you tell someone where you'd be? If yes, and if you're on an established trail, stay put. Search and rescue will find you faster if you're stationary. 2. Is it getting dark soon? If the sun sets in less than 3 hours, stop moving. Traveling in the dark dramatically increases injury risk. 3. Do you know which direction to go? If you're guessing, you're probably making it worse. People without compasses walk in circles. If you're staying put, make yourself visible immediately. Use the universal distress signal, 3 of anything, 3 whistle blasts, 3 shouts, 3 fires, 3 rock piles. Rescuers know this pattern. If you have anything reflective, a phone screen, a belt buckle, glasses, use it to flash sunlight toward the sky. Aircraft spot flashing light from miles away. Create ground signals. Use rocks, branches, or bright clothing to make a large X or SOS on open ground. Make it huge, at least 10 feet across. Now assess your resources. Empty your pockets. Everything is potentially useful. Shoelaces become cordage. A bilt becomes a strap. Lint becomes fire tinder. Check your clothing. Can you layer up for warmth? Can you use an extra shirt as a sack? If your phone is dead, it still works as a compass. Most smartphones have magnetic sensors that function without battery. Now listen. Close your eyes for 60 seconds and listen carefully. You're listening for water, the most important sound in the wilderness. You're listening for traffic, aircraft, voices, anything human. Observe the landscape. Which way does water flow? Downhill. Following water downstream eventually leads to civilization. But you're not moving yet because the sun is setting and your first priority is shelter. You have 2 hours of daylight left. That's enough time to build something that will keep you alive through the night. Choose your shelter location carefully. You want protection from wind and rain, but not under dead trees that could fall. You want to be near water, but not so close you're at risk of flooding or cold mist. Find a natural windbreak, a large rock, a fallen log, a thick evergreen tree. Now build a simple lean-to. All you need is a ridgepole supported by 2 upright branches, with smaller branches leaning against it at an angle. Cover it with evergreen boughs, leaves, or bark. The goal is to create a barrier between you and the cold ground and a roof over your head. It doesn't need to be pretty, it needs to trap your body heat. As the sun touches the horizon, you crawl into your shelter. You're cold, you're scared, but you're alive, and you've just massively increased your odds of staying that way. Because the #1 killer in wilderness survival isn't hunger, it's not dehydration, it's exposure, and you just solved that problem. The first night in the wilderness is the longest night of your life. As darkness falls, the temperature drops 15 degrees. You're in your crude shelter, and you can see your breath. This is when hypothermia becomes your enemy. Your body is already under stress. You've been burning calories through panic and physical effort. You haven't eaten much. Now you're asking your metabolism to keep you warm through the night. Hypothermia happens in stages, and you need to recognize them. Mild hypothermia. You're shivering. You're cold, but you're alert. This is your body's defense working. Do not try to stop shivering. That's your muscles generating heat. Moderate hypothermia. Shivering stops. You feel confused. Your movements are clumsy. This is dangerous. You're entering the stage where people make fatal decisions, like taking off their clothes because they feel hot. Severe hypothermia. You can't move. Your heart rate drops. Without intervention, you die. Your goal tonight is to stay in stage 1, cold but functional. Here's how. Insulate yourself from the ground. This is critical. The earth sucks heat from your body faster than air does. Pile leaves, pine needles, anything dry between you and the soil. Make it thick, at least 6 inches. Curl into a fetal position. You're minimizing surface area exposed to cold air. Tuck your hands into your armpits. Pull your knees to your chest. If you have a trash bag, get inside it. If you have a space blanket, wrap yourself in it. If you have nothing, stuff dry leaves inside your clothing for insulation. Now, if you can make fire, everything changes. Fire is survival. It's warmth, light, signaling, purification, and psychological comfort all in one. But making fire without matches or a lighter is hard. Let me show you 3 methods that actually work. Method 1, the hand drill. You need a straight stick and a flat piece of wood. You spin the stick between your palms against the wood, creating friction and heat. When the friction generates enough heat, wood dust begins to smolder. You transfer that ember to a tinder bundle and blow gently until it flames. It sounds simple. It's brutally difficult. It takes practice, the right wood, and dry conditions. Method 2, the bow drill. This is the hand drill with a mechanical advantage. You create a bow using a curved stick and cordage, a shoelace works. The bow rotates the drill stick faster with less effort. This is more reliable, but you need cordage. Method 3, flint and steel. If you have a knife and can find quartzite rock, you can strike sparks. But those sparks need to land on charcloth or very fine, dry tinder, and you need to know what you're doing. Here's the truth. If you've never practiced these methods, your odds of making fire on night 1 are low. So what do you do if you can't make fire? You endure. You stay in your shelter. You keep your insulation tight. You do not sleep deeply. You need to stay aware enough to keep moving, keep generating heat. You occupy your mind. Think of loved ones. Plan tomorrow. Run through survival priorities. Sing songs in your head. Anything to stay mentally engaged. Because the darkness plays with your mind. You hear sounds, branches snapping, animals moving, wind howling. Your imagination turns every sound into a threat. Are there predators? Yes. Bears, mountain lions, wolves exist in wilderness areas.
But here's the reality. They want nothing to do with you. You're loud, you smell strange, and you're not prey. The odds of a predator attacking a human are astronomically low. The real danger isn't animals, it's your own psychology. This is when people give up, when the cold seeps in, when exhaustion takes over, when despair whispers that you won't make it. This is the survival moment that isn't physical, it's mental. You have to choose to survive. Think of one person you need to see again, one thing you haven't done yet, one reason you refuse to die in these woods. Hold that thought like a rope and pull yourself through the darkness.
In 2017, a hiker got lost in the Adirondacks in October. Temperatures dropped to 28 degrees. He had no shelter, no fire, no sleeping bag. He survived by doing one thing right. He kept moving. Every time he felt drowsiness creeping in, the deadly comfort of hypothermia, he stood up and did jumping jacks. For 8 hours, he alternated between huddling and moving. At dawn, a search helicopter spotted him. The temperature drops to its lowest point just before sunrise. If you can make it to dawn, you've won the hardest battle. And then finally, the sky begins to lighten. The stars fade. The blackness turns to deep blue, then gray, then the first golden rays break through the trees. You're stiff, you're exhausted, every muscle aches, but you're alive. Night 1 is over, and you're still here. Day 2. You survived the night, but now you face a new enemy, dehydration. You can feel it already, dry mouth, headache, fatigue that goes beyond just being tired. The human body loses about 2 liters of water per day just through breathing, sweating, and urination. In stress and physical exertion, you lose even more. You have maybe 48 hours before dehydration becomes life-threatening. Finding water is now your mission. In most wilderness environments, water is there, you just have to know how to find it. Follow the terrain. Water flows downhill. Walk down slopes and you'll eventually find a stream, creek, or spring. Listen. Close your eyes and listen for running water. In quiet wilderness, you can hear a stream from hundreds of feet away. Look for green. Lush vegetation means water nearby. Follow the greenest plants. Watch animals. Game trails often lead to water sources. Birds fly toward water in the morning and evening. You find a stream, clear, cold, beautiful water flowing over rocks. Every instinct tells you to drink. Don't. That pristine-looking water might contain giardia, cryptosporidium, bacteria, or parasites from animal waste upstream. Drinking contaminated water can give you debilitating diarrhea in 24 to 48 hours. In a survival situation, severe diarrhea can kill you faster than thirst. You must purify water. Here are your options. Option 1, boiling. This is the gold standard. Boil water for 1 minute at sea level, 3 minutes at high altitude. This kills everything. But how do you boil water without a pot? If you have any metal container, a can, a bottle cap, or even aluminum foil, you can boil water. If you have nothing, you can use the rock boiling method. Heat rocks in a fire until they're extremely hot, then drop them into water held in a bark container or a depression in a rock. The hot rocks will bring the water to a boil. Option 2, solar disinfection. Fill a clear plastic bottle with water and leave it in direct sunlight for 6 hours. UV radiation kills most pathogens. This works, but it's slow and requires a clear bottle. Option 3, filtration. If you have fabric, a shirt, a bandana, you can create a multi-layer filter. It won't remove viruses, but it removes sediment and some bacteria. The best approach? Filter first to remove particles, then boil. You drink. The relief is immediate. Water is life, and you just secured yours. Now back to signaling. You've been missing for over 24 hours now. People are looking for you. The problem? The wilderness is vast, and you're a tiny needle in an enormous haystack. Your job is to be the loudest, most visible needle possible. Signal fire is your best tool. But one fire isn't enough. 3 fires in a triangle pattern is the international distress signal. Space them about 30 feet apart. During the day, you want smoke, lots of smoke. Add green branches, damp leaves, or grass to your fire. White smoke is visible for miles. At night, you want flame, bright, high flames that can be seen from aircraft or distant ridges. Keep your signal fires prepared but not burning constantly. You're conserving energy and materials. When you hear an aircraft, you light them immediately. Ground signals are your second tool. Create massive patterns on open ground, clearings, meadows, hilltops. Use rocks, branches, bright clothing, or by trampling vegetation. The most recognized patterns, X means need medical assistance. SOS is universal distress. A large arrow pointing toward your shelter. Make them huge. From an aircraft at 1,000 feet, you need signals at least 12 feet long to be visible. Reflective signaling works during the day. Anything reflective, a phone screen, a CD, a belt buckle, or even a credit card can be seen from miles away when angled toward the horizon. Sweep back and forth. If you hear an aircraft, aim at it. Now comes the hardest part of day 2 and 3. Waiting. You've done everything right. You have water, shelter, and signals. But no one has found you yet. This is the psychological crucible. Your mind starts asking dangerous questions. Did anyone notice I'm missing? Are they even looking? What if no one comes? Combat this with routine. Each morning, check and reinforce your shelter. Collect and purify water. Maintain your signal fires. Gather firewood. Each afternoon, rest in shade, conserve energy, stay hydrated. Keep your fire going. Each evening, prepare for night. Gather extra insulation. Make sure signals are ready. This routine gives you purpose. It keeps your mind occupied. It prevents the spiral into despair. On day 3, you hear it, the distant sound of a helicopter. Your heart races. This is it. You run to your signal fire and light the green branches. Thick white smoke pours into the sky. You grab your reflective surface and aim it at the helicopter. You shout, you wave. The helicopter passes. It didn't see you. This is the moment that breaks people. The moment hope is offered and then taken away. But you don't break. Because you know helicopters make multiple passes. You know search and rescue is systematic. You go back to your shelter, you drink water, you maintain your routine. And you prepare to survive day 4. By day 4, your body is changing. You're weak. You haven't eaten more than a granola bar in 4 days. Your muscles are breaking down for fuel. You're tired in a way you've never experienced. But here's the truth about starvation. It's slow. The human body can survive 3 weeks without food. You're uncomfortable, but you're not dying. Still, food would help. It would give you energy. It would improve morale. So let's talk about wilderness food. First rule, never eat anything you're 100% certain is safe. A single mistake, eating the wrong berry, the wrong mushroom, can kill you or make you so sick you can't function. If you don't know it's edible, don't eat it. What is safe? Insects, grubs, grasshoppers, ants, crickets. They're everywhere. They're high in protein and they won't kill you. Remove wings and legs and eat them raw or cooked. Yes, they're disgusting, but they work. Fish if you're near water. Make a spear from a straight branch, sharpen the end or split it into prongs. Fish in shallow areas during morning and evening. Small game is harder. You'd need traps, which take time and skill. Unless you're experienced, focus on easier sources. Edible plants exist, but this is dangerous territory. Cattails, dandelions, clover, pine needles for tea, these are generally safe, but without training, plant foraging is risky. Here's what I recommend. Don't spend enormous energy hunting food. Your body can run on fat stores for weeks. Conserve energy, stay near water, maintain signals. By day 5, something shifts. You've stopped checking the horizon constantly for rescue. You've accepted that this might take a while. You've entered survival mode, not panic, not hope, just methodical existence. You wake up, you drink water, you check your signals, you gather firewood, you rest, you prepare for night. This is psychological adaptation, and it's crucial. People who survive long-term wilderness ordeals describe this shift. The first few days are chaos, fear, hope, despair. Then a calm settles in. You become an animal, focused only on the next task. This is your brain protecting you from the emotional weight of your situation. Embrace it.
On day 6, you hear voices. At first, you think you're hallucinating, but no, these are real voices, distant but human. You shout, you run toward the sound, you crash through underbrush and burst into a clearing. 2 backpackers stare at you, shocked. You're filthy, you're exhausted, you probably look half dead, but you're found. They have a satellite phone. They call for help. Within 2 hours, a search and rescue team reaches you. They give you water, a blanket, an energy bar. A helicopter evacuates you to a hospital. You're dehydrated, malnourished, covered in cuts and bruises, but you're alive because you did everything right. Let's review what saved your life. Hour 1, you stopped moving. You didn't panic. You built shelter before dark. Night 1, you insulated yourself from the ground. You stayed warm enough to survive. Day 2, you found and purified water. You created signals. Days 3 through 6, you maintained routine. You conserved energy. You didn't give up. Now let's talk about what kills people in identical situations. Panic. They keep walking in circles, get more lost, and exhaust themselves. Exposure. They don't prioritize shelter and die from hypothermia on night 1. Dehydration. They drink untreated water, get severe diarrhea, and can't recover. Despair. They mentally give up and stop fighting. Injury. They travel at night or in dangerous terrain and suffer a fall that ends their mobility. The difference between survival and death in the wilderness is almost always decisions, not luck. If you take one thing from this video, take this: survival is a choice. When you're cold, exhausted, scared, and alone, your brain will offer you the option to give up. Don't take it. Think of someone you love. Picture their face. Imagine the moment you see them again. Hold that image and refuse to let go, because that's what survivors do. They don't quit. Before we end, here are your final takeaways. 1. Always tell someone where you're going and when you'll be back. This single action dramatically improves rescue odds. 2. Carry the 10 essentials: navigation, sun protection, insulation, illumination, first aid, fire, repair kit, nutrition, hydration, emergency shelter, even on a day hike. 3. Learn basic skills before you need them. Practice making fire, practice building shelter, take a wilderness first aid course. 4. If you get lost, remember, stop. Sit, think, observe, plan. 5. Priorities are shelter, water, signaling, food, in that order. 6. Your mind is your most important survival tool. Train it. The wilderness is beautiful.
It's also unforgiving. Respect it, prepare for it, and if the worst happens, know that you have the knowledge to survive. If this video could save your life one day, subscribe to The Survival Mind. We dive deep into survival psychology, real cases, and the skills that actually matter. Stay safe out there.